The Musha report has like references to like tweets from Seaborn.
All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am here by myself because JT is currently trying to see if we can get the Disney music that's going on in the background pointed in a direction that's further away. Hopefully that you can't hear it. Maybe you can, and if you can, I apologize. I don't mind. And another thing is, there's only going to be audio on one side of the channel because we're not using the shotgun mic so that we can try to keep the level of noise, mainly the Disney music that's in the background, down to a minimum. So I apologize for that, but the Whoopsick is here. Hello, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate that. JT is going to be here in just a few minutes. He's waiting to talk to the tournament organizer to see if we can get that music pointed in the other direction. But he'll be here just a few minutes. This will be a shorter stream as well because honestly, we're both a little tired. I know we've been kind of goofing around, playing around all weekend, but
quick question for you. We're getting ready to do a little bit of streaming over here, and I don't want to pick up your music. Is it okay if we move that maybe to the end of the table and kind of aim it this way? Apologize.
It's tiring. It's tiring, but because you're not because of what you're doing, because of how you're doing it. We're live, by the way.
I figured. I saw you talking.
So yeah, I just went ahead and started. Thank you.
You're good.
Yeah, that's cool. So
That's better.
They did point it the other direction, so it's not gonna hopefully bleed over. We're using lapel mics for that reason to kind of try to keep the extra noise that's going. The Lorcana tournament is underway.
It's underway, and the reason it took me so long is because there was a very in-depth conversation about the Mufasa cards and how the different mechanisms work.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
And where the initiative plays on a certain ability.
So I guess it holds true. Mufasa.
Yeah, that's right.
Mufasa.
Yep.
Yeah. Mufasa.
Yep.
That's a movie reference. Come on, you got to get it.
If I start singing, no, I don't want to start singing.
No, don't start singing. Please don't start singing. This is the live Q&A and karaoke hour on FOBG. No, we're not going to do that. All right, we've only got 3.
We got chills.
The Whoop is here. They're multiplying. The Whoopsick is here. Only one that has chimed in today. Again, we usually don't do stuff on Sundays, so our viewers might not be showing up, but maybe they'll get that notification and they'll show up. But that's fine. We just wanted to put this out here because we wanted to kind of give a end cap to the convention. So we just wanted to kind of talk about a little bit of what we did and how we feel the convention is and the people we met and that kind of stuff. And so you go first.
I go first.
Say it again. Mufasa.
Don't do it. Yesterday was pretty productive. I learned White Castle. That was a really cool game. I got to try that again. Talk about tight. Like, you only get 9 turns.
It's like a brand new game.
It's like a brand new game.
Yeah.
You only get 9 turns in the whole game.
Wow.
So it's a dice worker placement game, basically. You place 9 dice over the course of the entire game. And when you place 1 dice, your job is to combo as much stuff as you can and drag it out. Like, it's really, there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
So once you have that turn, when you do this and 2 things, you're like, oh, that was a bad turn, because I'm going to lose now. It's a really neat game, and I bet you it's a hell of a good single-player game. But other than that,
it goes down to single player. Huh?
It does, yeah. And I'll bet you it's a good one.
I would imagine most games are going that route now.
Yeah.
I see I guess most would be a heavy word to use.
Sure.
But I think a lot are going with the solo mode.
I think there's a lot of depth to that one in the solo play, and it'd probably be pretty quick when you're good at it. So
Adam Whitehead is here. I don't usually do things
Adam.
on Sundays either, he says. Well, yeah.
Sunday morning, get a cup of coffee.
Yep.
Hang out for a little bit.
It's a beautiful morning.
I got to hang out with Troy a little bit. He's the founder of this convention.
Yeah.
High hopes, man. And talking to him, got to talk a lot about, his hopes and dreams and his, his thought process behind this. He's definitely got a mind and understands board games for one, and he also understands, I think, all of the pieces that'll put a good convention together. So
Yeah.
I just hope this thing continues to grow because he's got his heart in the right place. Everybody here's been really great. I got to teach him scholars.
Yeah.
And he's a gamer when he says, when we sit down, his wife came up and she's like, oh, you get to play your new game because he just got it Friday.
Yeah.
He just got it Friday, so he unboxed it yesterday. She's like, oh, you get to play your new game? And he's like, yeah, but I wasn't first because there were 2 players that played his copy before he got to play it. So, but he was excited to play. We had a good time.
That's one of the cool things about Troy as well. And I know there are a lot of other people out there that are in the gaming industry that are gamers kind of first. That's their passion, but they're also doing it as a business. And I think that's definitely what Troy's all about. He's not doing this to kind of make a buck. He's doing this for the community. Now I'm sure he would like to make money doing it. You know, I don't think he's naive that way. But
yeah, of course.
I think the heart behind Calgary Tabletop Game Day is community, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come up here is because I like that vibe. I like that vibe. He's definitely a businessman, and he's definitely, hello Michael, he's definitely one of those, really wicked smart people. I mean, I think he beat JT. JT, you came in third.
I came in third.
In Scholars, he came in third.
But you never teach a game and try to come in first. No,
that's not true. That's not him.
I did not try. I mean, I tried. No, I came in third, and actually Jeremy whooped us all. I think he had 53 points. Wow. Troy had 42, and I had 40. So
Jeremy is like Troy's right-hand man up here. So
and they say he wins 79.6% of his games. So.
They said 78.
I know. I'm sure. They said 80, and then he said, nope, it's only 78. So.
Yeah. He
must know what he's talking about.
He's like a project manager, and he's got apprentices underneath him. So it's like, okay, he's a smart cookie as well.
Yeah.
But it's just it's a cool vibe, and I think this is the second year. Am I right on that?
Third, I think.
Third? Okay.
I couldn't remember if it's second
or third year. So it's still in that growing, kind of toddler stage of conventions. But I think they're doing it for the right reasons. And I think when people start hitting on that, it's going to start growing.
Yep.
So I think it's good. They've got this Lorcana tournament going on. They've got $1,000 up for a grand prize. And so people were saying they've traveled, they drove 6-7 hours just to be here for that tournament. So those kinds of things are neat draws that will get other people in. So I think he's got the right idea. He's just got to, it's just going to be a couple more years before it's,
I hope it continues to grow.
Bigger local convention. But it still has that local hometown vibe. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're good. And hopefully, publishers will start to participating a bit more. We had one publisher down there, and he's been fantastic. I think we talked about him the other day. But did you know Roxley's from here?
Yes.
Come on, Roxley, get over here.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, and I think that's part
just
of the
a little bit.
That's part of the downside. And I don't know if Roxley's at BGG-Con, but BGG-Con is going on right now too. And so that probably took a lot of American or North American, let me put it that way. That probably took a lot of North American publishers away because of BGG's size and draw.
Yeah.
So that's kind of an unfortunate thing. So maybe if they can get them on a different weekend other than BGG-Con, that'll help.
Yep.
But
I wonder if that just lined up.
Yeah, wicked smart.
Supposedly.
Wicked smart. Flosaurus says, wicked smart.
You gotta say wicked smart in a Canadian accent.
Yeah.
I also had a whole conversation with people about Canadian accents.
Wicked smart, eh? That was like Boston Canadian. That was like...
that's right.
That was like weird.
Boston Canadian. Yeah.
Jesse's watching on the way to church. Hello, Jesse. Flosaurus says, hey guys, stopping by for a bit before football to say hi. Watching Amon Ray yesterday was a good watch. Thank you, Flosaurus. Appreciate that.
That's a really cool game.
That's a really great game. I wanted to try to, because Troy wants to learn, so I was like, maybe we can play him with that. But he's going to teach us Darwin's Journey. After we get done with the stream.
I'm excited for that one.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. I've got another Darwin game at home. I can't in the footsteps of Darwin, I think is what it's called. So it's another Darwin game. It just. So this one's by Thunderglyph.
This one, Darwin's going to be doing this, and we're going to be with him, and the next one we're going to follow him.
Yes, that's right.
We'll know everything he does in this
Thunder
one.
Griff games, not Thunder Glyph.
Thunder Griff.
Yeah, Thunder Griff games, I think is what
That's
it's
what you
called.
can read over there?
I know their logo.
Oh, okay.
I know their logo.
I can't
I'm pretty
read
sure
that.
that's what it is.
But
There's
there's a guy here that's playing a 6-hour double Terraforming Mars game.
Oh my goodness,
with 2 boards, 6-player complement. It's all been connected together.
Yeah.
All of the tracks, he's double tracking, so he has 2 trackers. So to get it up to negative 20 degrees Celsius, you got to go up twice. Oh my goodness. He's got all the bits and pieces.
It makes my brain hurt. At one,
Every single expansion. Although he did say he doesn't have the stuff that hasn't come out yet, so it's not a complete set, so it's junk. But other than that,
it's fine. It's fine.
but yeah, he's that's going to be an interesting one to watch. Those guys do that all day
I've
long.
played Terraforming Mars for 4 hours once at a Dice Tower retreat. Somebody said, "Hey, do you want to play Terraforming Mars with all the expansions?"
Full player count,
At
all the
that
expansions?
place. No, it was 4-player game, all the expansions.
Woo-wee.
And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do that. That was my second game of Terraforming Mars.
So
I have not played Terraforming Mars since.
I've never played it with all the expansions.
Yeah.
Same time.
Well, generally speaking, doing that with any board game is probably not a good idea.
Yep.
They're modular for a reason.
Yeah.
You add this one in, you add that one in, you take that one, you don't use that one. You know, it's that kind of stuff. And usually most companies will say that. They'll say, don't use everything.
Yeah.
Pick
Which
and
is
choose
hard
what you
for
want.
me, honestly, because every time I get an expansion, I just want to incorporate it and be done. Games like that, you can't do that.
Matt says, thanks for coming by. Had a great time being able to say hi and lots of great games. Hats off to FOBG. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. I got to play. You see, yesterday we'll just kind of go back and forth.
Yeah.
Yesterday I got to play Dice Born Heroes.
Yeah. It actually looked pretty good.
Yeah, it's a neat little dungeon crawl, basically, but it's not dudes on the map dungeon crawl. So you have your character and
Theater of the mind.
yeah, that's basically what it is. I mean, but the cool thing about it is that it's kind of scenario based, where everything comes in like a little packet, and you can play through that packet. And that packet usually has like a setting, which is like, I think yesterday it was like this an old abandoned ancient church, and we were going there to stop a necromancer from raising his army of the dead. And so we go in there and we have to fight this, and it's on tiers. So you have a level 1 tier, and you got to fight through that. Once you get through that, you can go back to town and get some gear and level up your person, and then you go back and you're level 2 people and you're fighting level 2 monsters. And you have to basically get through levels 1, 2, and 3, fight the final boss, and if you do that before the attack deck runs out, then you win. But if the attack deck runs out at the end of a round and there's no more cards in the attack deck, then you've lost.
Yeah.
So in each monster that you defeat adds more cards into the attack deck. So it was a neat little thing.
So what pulls cards off of the attack deck? Every time the bad guys attack
Every time the bad guys attack you, you have to draw attack cards for each of them. So if there's 3 monsters out there, you have to draw 3 attack cards. But the monsters might give you 2, 3, and 2 cards back. So if you defeat all of them, you've come ahead. But that's usually not how it works out, because usually you're not able to knock out all 3 characters in one round. So they're going to attack
with the whole
multiple
stack on the attack side. And when I came over, it was about half and half. So
Yeah.
You were losing resources.
Yesterday we got all the way to the boss. We beat both of his dudes, because he comes with 2 minions or whatever. We beat both of his minions. We got some hits on him, and then the deck ran out, and then we couldn't get more hits on him.
I think Mel wants to play Ares Expedition.
Uh-oh.
Let's do it.
Ares Expedition all the way.
Yeah.
Well, here you said that you like Ares Expedition better than Terraforming Mars. I've not yet played
Snappier,
Ares
it's
Expedition.
cleaner, and there's more interaction.
So I'm still on board for trying that one. So
Not to interrupt on your game. The other cool thing
it's
is
fine.
I liked the way, I just got to watch it, but I liked the way the characters look like they leveled up. You got to make some choices every time they leveled up.
And it's
they
not.
got to change classes.
Yeah, you get to change classes almost every time, or you can stay the same class and just get like a leveled up version of that same class. But I think I started out as a priest, and then I went to I think a time mage. There was one of the abilities that you had is you can heal them for 2, and then they would be able to activate 2 dice on their next turn. Usually you can only activate 1. So it was a cool ability, and then I ended up finally being a paladin. So it was a neat kind of progression.
Yeah, progression in the class too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that looked cool.
it was neat. The combat mechanism is really cool too. You basically have a combination of dice. My paladin had 2 greens and a blue die. Blue dice are more for magic type stuff. Green dice are more for like healing type stuff. And the red dice are more for the attack, physical attack, melee type stuff. So I had my dice. You roll all 3 of your dice, and that gives you 3 numbers basically that you can use for your different abilities. The different abilities fire off. Some of them have just a square with no number in it, which means that you can use any die to fire off that ability. Or some of them have a 3+ or a 4+ or a 5+. But the thing is that those are usually your bigger attacks. The lower ones are smaller attacks. But it also represents the initiative in which your action takes place. It
affects your initiative too, which is cool.
So if you have a lower number, you're going to go earlier in the initiative progression. But if you have a higher number, your attack's going to be bigger. But you could be hit, and something could mess you up, and stuff like that. So it's a really neat game. I'm going to hopefully try to talk to him and see if we can work something out so I can show it on the channel, because I think it's a game that funded on Kickstarter. I think he said they got like 4 times what they needed to fund.
Yeah.
So he produced it. It was back in 2019, and he's looking now for I think
he's a one-man show, right?
Yeah.
One-man show. Went on Kickstarters. I mean, that's what Kickstarter's for, right?
Yep.
Like, for most of us, like, that's what you think about Kickstarters. That's for somebody going on, trying to do something they love and needing help to do it. So he did it that way. It just happened that he hit in COVID.
And he had some struggles during 2020, but he was able to keep himself afloat and work it through, and now he's on the other side of it, and he's doing pretty well. But he's kind of like he's how Kickstarter should be.
That's right.
He's how Kickstarter should be.
It's
It's just like 1 or 2 people. They have a vision, they have a product, they have a thing, they want to get it out there in the open, and then they produce it and they make it and they get it to you. That's exactly how Kickstarter should be. So it was a cool game, and I really enjoyed it. So hopefully we can show you guys a little bit later on. If you're sitting at a table, no game can go over your head.
That's true.
That's
Jesse said.
I'm pretty sure.
Terraforming Mars is over her head. She's pretty short though, so she might be under the table sometimes. She's pretty short.
That's cool. Just played Ares Expedition last weekend, Glenn says. Cleaner, more interactions, no doubt, in the half of time.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's really clean.
And simultaneous play.
Yep, and simultaneous play. You play on every single person's turn. So, or not on every, but you're all playing at the same time, all the time. So.
Let's see here.
You gotta play more games.
Gotta play more games. I'm stuck playing the same 5.
Well, are they good 5?
Yeah, if they're good 5,
they're good 5. That's all right.
He says he hasn't touched Terraforming Mars or Ares Expedition. Both look great though.
Yeah.
Graham Friedley is here. Graham says, "Hey guys, had a great time playing Apiary with you on Friday. That game was sweet and had a honey of a time." Wow, he's still throwing out those puns. Still throwing out those puns, man. Thanks so much for coming to game with us in Calgary. Well, thank you, Graham. Appreciate it. We had a great time too.
Super happy to be
I
here.
enjoy it. Well, here's the thing. I almost said I enjoyed watching it, and I did. At points.
It's better to play.
It is better to play. It is better to play. Apiary is kind of a hard game to watch, play, and get excited about. For me, at least. I know other people can watch it and enjoy it.
A lot of games are like that, though.
Yeah.
It's always better to be in the middle of it. But
Benjamin Steffens says, "Hey, Sam and JT. Hello, Benjamin. Greetings from Germany. Love to see you guys growing your channel. Thank you. I appreciate it." Yep, it's all good. Let's see. How many are in attendance there this weekend? I don't know. I don't know the numbers.
Troy said yesterday he thinks he's going to break 2,500.
Really?
Yeah.
That's got to be turnstile.
Yep.
Yeah, it's probably turnstile. But
Yep.
still, 2,500 turnstile is a good number.
Yep, which is what he, I think he was hoping for that, 3,000, something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
That's a pretty good turnout. There's plenty of place to grow, that's for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think I think Travis was it Travis? No, somebody else was telling me that there's like 1.5 million people here.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's a good market.
It's a good market, and there's a big gaming community here.
Yeah.
I think we noticed that just by going to one board game cafe on Friday, the Hexagon Board Game Cafe.
Yeah, it was.
And no, Thursday.
Thursday.
Sorry, Thursday.
It was full.
Yeah, it was full.
Just table to table, people would leave, people would fill right back in.
Yep. So
that was really cool.
yeah, it's a cool place. Adam Whitehead says Kickstarter seems to be getting riskier.
It
depends
shouldn't be riskier.
It depends on what you're backing.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're backing. If you keep backing those miniatures games, I could probably agree with that, because getting minis made overseas especially is getting riskier and riskier because it's not getting any cheaper.
Yeah, I think you just got to do homework on the publishers and kind of what you're looking for, which is sad, right? Because then the person that makes that really good game that nobody knows about, that they have a harder time.
Yep.
But it shouldn't be riskier, right? I mean, shipping costs have stabilized. Production costs have, we want to say stabilized. They've stabilized higher, obviously, but they're definitely not bouncing around as much.
No,
so-
they're not bouncing around,
and
but
hopefully
it's
they
still
don't.
really expensive.
It is really expensive.
And I think sometimes people just don't realize, especially the smaller publishers, just don't realize how much it's going to cost. And they think, well, I've made $1 million on this thing. Well, that might not be enough.
Why would you have to write that down, man?
Wow, Monster Apocalypse, man! Why? That's a knife, bro.
Was
That's
the
a dull
Monster
blade.
Apocalypse 2029?
That's a dull. Oh my goodness. Oh man, yeah. I tell you
Running
what,
for president.
a lot of
2029.
I tell you what.
It was risky for sure.
Yes.
Last couple of years have been rocky.
Yeah, but
Hopefully it'll stabilize.
yeah, I think JT's right. It has stabilized, but it's just not the same. Just not the same anymore. You can't. Production costs have just gone through the roof, and I don't know that it's all because of COVID. I think some of it, and maybe this is the pessimist in me coming out, I think some of it is, people are understanding now. Well, people are having the idea that, I can charge more for what I used to do for less, and they're just going to live with it. And that's unfortunate. That's people, it's the same, I'm not saying that they're gouging, but it's that same idea. I don't need to charge more, but I'm going to charge more.
Well, there's a game that came out not too long ago on Kickstarter. In fact, it might still be kickstarting, but I like acrylic tokens. I heard that Vargan's looking for me. I'm sorry. My pup is looking for me. He hasn't seen me in 3 days.
Yep.
But there's a game that came out not too long ago, and I like acrylic tokens. I like the nice bits and everything else, but the prices for those tokens and those bits are double of what they should be. And they legitimately are just saying, if you want it, pay it.
And if you don't.
Yeah, and I didn't, but it's tough.
Yep.
And that's what we have to do. We have to not pay for that extra stuff when it's twice or 3 times the price that it should be.
Yeah.
Just can't do it.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things where, it's almost cliche, but you have to vote with your pocketbook. Yeah. You have to just basically, you have to tell the publishers at some point, we can't afford that anymore.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm not going to be the one that tells you how to spend your money, And that's one of the things why I take kind of a more pointed, whenever I do a Kickstarter preview, I always say, this is what I've shown you, and if anything's piqued your interest, go check it out. And whether you back it or not is not my concern, because I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money.
Yeah.
If I like a game, I'm going to definitely tell you I liked it, but that doesn't mean you're going to like it.
Yeah.
So, it's just one of those things where people just have to be more conscious about how they're spending their cash.
You're the only one that can tell you yourself if you're going to get your money's worth out of something, or if you're buying it for a collection, because it's a collecting type item, so be it. If that's what you like to collect,
Right.
But
But
you're the only one getting your money's worth out of it.
Yes, but at the same time, another thing that I want to hit on, because this is another conversation that I've had with one of the publishers that are here. When you back a Kickstarter, please understand that it's going to take time. And sometimes, not all the time. I think there are companies out there that just make poor decisions, and then they have to suffer with bad repercussions because of the poor decisions that they made. But sometimes publishers are doing exactly what they should be doing, and it's the factories. It's the not factories. Is it factories?
Yeah.
The production side of things.
Absolutely. Production side of things
that gets
can
set
do it.
off because the factories are doing the same thing. They're accepting all of these projects, and they're jamming them in, and they're trying to kick them out, and something happens with this one, and that's going to set off all of these other ones. And that's just the way
they
it
have
goes.
production issues, right?
Yeah.
Like 20 Strong's a good example. It should have come out a couple of months ago, but they had production issues. They made them go back and fix them, and not only do you have to go back and fix them, but then you got to rebox, and you got to box everything up, and you got to ship it. And so one little fix could cost 2 months.
Yeah. The amount of stress that Kickstarter backers add to publishers is astronomical, and I wasn't even the one that was having to deal with all of the issues. I was just the one listening to the complaints and passing them on. And again, I understand that, the reputation, unfortunately, now that the company I work for has. I get it. I understand that. I'm not trying to defend them. I'm just saying that backers need to understand the effect that they're having on somebody else's life.
That's true. Not only that, but you're beating on the person who's the messenger sometimes. We do that. I do that.
Yeah.
I'm not going right to the guy that made the decision to do the dumb thing. I'm beating on the guy that wants to talk to me and, kind of calm me down a little bit. And that poor guy is getting a paycheck, and it's not worth it anymore.
Yeah.
But,
well,
but that happens.
Yeah, and sometimes the guy you're talking to is the guy whose, baby that project is. And he's doing everything. He's working sometimes 80-hour weeks, trying to get that baby out into the light, and he's getting buffeted by the production factory
Well, that goes
and
for anybody that puts themselves out in front of the public.
It does.
To try to make them happier.
I guess I'm just trying to say, be more mindful of how you treat people when you have the protection of a screen and a keyboard in front of you. Just be careful. Because I told the publisher, I said, some of the interactions I've had with people online, I can't believe that there would ever be that kind of interaction face to face.
I don't know. Have you ever watched any Karen videos?
I have, but even still, with those
you're right.
It just,
some people get a little bit crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on.
Going
Let's see.
bonkers over there.
Glenn says, when the extra stuff costs as much as getting another game or two, really tough to buy those 2 extra goodies or those extra goodies, especially when most people are on a pretty tight budget these days.
Sure.
When I back a Kickstarter, he continues, I just try and forget it until it shows up at my door and just enjoy playing all my other games.
That's the right way to do it.
Yeah, I think that's the right way to do it. Now, I know JT...
I track everything.
He tracks everything, but
I do believe...
I don't think you cause a whole bunch of trouble
No,
online.
I don't
You
cause a
watch
whole
it,
bunch
you
of
just
trouble.
don't get vocal about it.
I might get grumpy every once in a while.
He does.
Or ask
He does.
him, like, what's going on? But no,
he
try
he
not
takes
to.
a fork every once in a go and he goes, hell, the last saga.
That's my whole life. I do that to everybody. So. I don't just do that for publishers. So if you do it to everybody in your life, if you're mean to everybody, then go ahead and be mean to publishers. That's what I'm saying.
Just be consistent.
Just be consistent.
On a serious note, I think the board game scene probably also should start to think about developing a contentment culture. Well, I don't.
Never gonna happen.
I don't think
consumer
that's
culture.
Consumer-based society that's not going to happen, unfortunately. But
each of us can do that, right?
Yeah,
One at a time.
that's an individual thing, and really, if you start on the individual level, if more and more people, then it starts to become a culture. But you're not gonna.
But you're right. That would be great.
But let's see, meaning that we probably should learn to be more content with games that we already have.
That's true. So many good games we have, so many piles of good games.
Yep. Cult of the New is a real thing. It is absolutely a real thing.
Yeah.
You want all the new shinies, and it's something that I'm even talking to my youngest son about. You know, he's always about, I want this, I want this, I want this, and I'm saying, but you don't need that because you already have all of this. Yeah, but I want that.
Yeah.
But you already have this, you know, and it's a conversation. So it doesn't matter what age you are or anything like that. The new shiny thing is something that you're always going to want to try to go after, but you have to kind of restrict yourself for it. And start to see what's great about these games. Yes.
So the interesting thing, so Adam says the fulfillment agents seem to be overburdened. The problem is, I don't, you guys have probably seen that, but all of these distributing companies are going out of business, or they're stopping to distribute because they're making no money or they're losing money. Like they're struggling just distributing. So
Yep.
we are getting fewer and fewer distributors, and we've all seen our distributors change. So they have to be paid enough to make it worthwhile for them, and that money obviously comes from the publisher, but in the first part it comes from us. But distributing is it's getting worse.
Yeah, I remember going
it
back
got hit
to
hard.
going back when I was still working with Mythic. We were trying to get Steam Watchers fulfilled, and we actually changed fulfillment partners because the other person was just doing such a horrible job. We changed because we thought the new person would do a better job, and it turns out they actually did a worse job. And they had more distribution centers, and we thought that would be better. That would get the product to people faster because they had different. They had like East Coast, West Coast, and then they also had Central USA. And we thought, well, that would be better.
Yeah.
And you know, everything, you know.
So publishers do make decisions like that.
It's
Like
just,
this is going to be better, and it falls
and then it
through,
just
and,
like turns
and
to
you gotta live
crap.
with it. We all live with that, you know.
Things
but
got lost.
they didn't do it for no reason.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's not like we were just like, flip a coin, maybe this will be better. No, we did our research. We thought it was going to be better, and so we went that direction. And then that new distributor lost like a complete container of product, and for months, and then they finally found it somewhere in a warehouse, and I'm like, come on, what the heck? So again, it's just I don't want to keep talking about this.
Good.
It's all good, but
So what are your biggest disappointments in this whole thing right here?
What? The convention?
I can tell you what mine are. Nucleum's been sitting on that table for 3 days now, and I haven't played it yet. That's my biggest.
Whose fault is that,
That's
sir?
my fault. No, that's your fault. I don't have
It's
any
not
time.
my fault.
There's no
Don't
time.
blame me.
No.
Yeah, we only have a limited amount of time.
I wish I'd have been able to teach a couple more games. There's several people that asked that I haven't been able to get to yet. Supposed to teach Too Many Bones a day, but that's not going to happen. I can see that already.
I got to play Blood Rage 3 times.
17 times.
3 times.
3 times.
Not 17. 3 times, and it was great. Actually, I had a great time. Last night I got to play it the 3rd time, and I taught it to 3 new players. One of the lady that was sitting across from me, Joan, she said that they have it at home and they've played it before, but they didn't play it the right way.
Sure.
Because she was playing with her younger kids, and they just always want to win. So she was just, just kind of going through the motions. But all 3 of them said they really enjoyed the game. They really had a good time. So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Blood Rage Nation, 3 more added to our numbers last night.
What did you want to play here that you didn't get to? Anything?
What did I get? What did I want?
I wanted to play Last Light, but you have that coming, so we'll be playing that very soon.
We'll be getting that pretty soon.
That's pretty exciting.
I wanted to try Tesseract, and I was going to last night, and then right as we were about to sit down, those people asked me to teach them to play Blood Rage, so
we have that at home though.
Yeah, I know you have it, so I'm not worried about it. But I wanted to play that. I wanted to possibly try Cascadia Landmark.
Yeah.
But I bought that here, so that's going to come home. Dude, check out Santa. Dude, that is like
we
posh,
got the old
spice
school,
Santa, bro. That's like super awesome.
You see those fancy
wish,
statues that he's got that kind of outfit on.
Yeah, this is like
it's the
living
Claus.
high on the hog Santa Claus, bro.
Nice.
But I wish I could show it to you, but we don't have it set up that way. We don't have
Lorcana
our
just
cameras set
finished
up.
their first round.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
They started second already?
Yep, I think they just reset for their second
Brian
round.
still in it? Brian Drake is playing in the Lord Connor
I
tournament.
think
Yeah,
I saw
see
Brian.
him.
Is
I
he in
see
there?
him. Yeah, he's right there. I see the Dice Tower hat. Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
He's
he
repping
made it
Dice
the second
Tower.
round. Dice Tower for the win.
So that's cool. In the car with my stepson, Glenn just says, "Can you give a shout out to Cole?" What's up, Cole?
What's up, Cole?
How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I know you can't see. Well, we can't see you, but it's a figure of speech.
Mm-hmm.
So have a good day, Cole. Good to see you.
Yeah. Look
Hello,
at that.
Chris.
How you doing?
Chris Kringle is here.
Your outfit is killing it, brother.
We are live. Would you mind sitting down and showing us your outfit?
Look at this.
We're on this camera.
I will
Yeah,
move out.
come on over here,
right
man.
around
Come
here.
over here.
Look at this.
Oh, there. How
We
are
got to
you
show
doing?
you how to. We got to show you off, man. You look amazing. Check this guy out.
Well, hello.
Yeah.
Yes. Look at
How
that.
is everybody out there? Santa's here at the Geek Market,
Yeah.
and we're having a wonderful day.
My wife is going to be so jealous.
Well, you know, I just had to make my visit here.
That's
and,
right.
It's so nice to be able to come and watch everybody play games.
Yeah.
But there's so many new games here.
Yes, there are.
There's all kinds of games here to see, and everybody seems to be having a good time.
Yes, absolutely. That's the whole point.
It is a good
Yeah, it's
point.
good.
You know, you're never too young to play games.
That's right. You're never too young. That's right.
And
It's how
never
you.
too old either.
That's right.
That's right.
Mind you, the elves, they always take advantage of Santa because I'm not the best game player. you know.
Yeah.
And they beat me all the time.
Uh huh.
But that's only because they make the games.
Yeah.
So they take advantage of me.
How did you do against the Grinch yesterday?
Well, you know, the Grinch and I have had this competition for a long, long time.
Yeah.
You know, and now that his heart's so much bigger, he's a lot more nicer and a lot funner to be around.
That's great.
Yeah, yeah. We were, one time I used to have to watch my shop quite closely because, you know, he was always lurking and looking around. And I'd sit there and go, you know what? The snow's white and you're green. I'm going to see you every
That's
time.
right. That's exactly correct. That's awesome. So, who won? You guys played Dice Throne, Marvel, Santa versus Krampus.
Well, you know, I think, well, I'm always going to win over Krampus.
Sure.
Always
Absolutely.
going to win over Krampus.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's getting pretty good at games, the Grinch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gives me a good challenge at times. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Now that he's kind of, you know, getting out of his cave and doing things more, he's learning games.
Yeah.
Before I had the advantage.
Well, right, because he had less experience.
But he had less experience.
Right.
But now, I mean, he plays these games just almost more than I do.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he's in the cave by himself, you know.
Yeah.
So he has
A lot of
lots
solo
time.
games.
Yeah, he has lots of time to practice. Read the directions really careful.
That's right.
So he's got that little advantage on me.
Yeah. Understood. You're a busy man.
Oh, I am busy, especially this time of year.
I know,
of course,
right?
Yeah.
It's starting to ramp up for you.
Oh, it is. It's starting to ramp up really good. Well, I should
That's
be on
great.
my way.
All right. Thank you for
Well,
stopping
Merry
by.
Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Thank you
Christmas.
for taking the time to talk to me. Everybody have a Merry Christmas and a very, very Happy New Year.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Have a good
Great.
one.
Thank you so much. I told
There you
you.
go. We got a new
I
co-host.
told you that guy's suit was banging. I told you. Had to show that off. He came and stopped by, so that's great. Yeah, Santa's here. See, look, Santa. I love Santa. That's amazing.
Hopefully you heard Santa, Cole.
Yep, there you go. Of course, Santa is a gamer. That's right. Everybody said hello, so that's great. That was fun. I'm glad we were able to.
I
get
don't
that.
want to play against the elves. You know they cheat.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Guaranteed.
Those angry elves, they do.
They're pretty sneaky.
Yeah, they're pretty sneaky, but elves are pretty nice more often than not. It's the gnomes you got to worry about.
How many elves and gnomes do you know?
I'm not telling you that. So jealous, Jesse
There you
says.
go.
Mm.
Just for you, Jesse. All right, now.
Yeah. I didn't, but here's the thing. I promised her I wouldn't get my picture taken with Santa.
Well,
I
Okay.
didn't get a picture taken.
you did promise that?
I
that
did.
was a necessity? Like, if you go up there, you can't get your picture taken with
Because she
Santa?
knew there was going to be a Christmas market going on. And she knew
That
Santa
is a
was going
weird
to be here.
stipulation. I've got to tell you, this is a slightly strange stipulation.
So I didn't get my picture taken with Santa. It was a video. It wasn't a picture.
That's right.
So I'm still safe.
Yep.
I'm still good. I can come home. I can go home tonight. So that's good.
Until you do that thumbnail still shot. Santa.
That's not me though. That's not me getting my picture taken. That's somebody else doing it.
I see.
But
Right on.
that was fun. All right. What about you? What are some of the highlights? What are some of the highlights of the convention for you?
I had a good time. We did the top 5 kind of
Yeah.
introductory games or games for bringing people into the hobby. That was fun. It was cool to meet Melanie and Carla and spend a little time with Brian. And the crowd was great, although some of us got booed. We know there was money being exchanged.
I mean to tell you, they usually say the Canadians are really, really nice and friendly. Melanie paid people to cheer for her and boo us.
That's right.
I don't know that that's Canadian activity.
What's her
She's got some American in her, I'm pretty sure.
What's her YouTube channel again? Melanie.
Mel's Game Room.
Melanie's
Mel's
Board Game Room.
or
Mel's-
Board Game Room. I
yeah,
think it's
something
Game
like
Room,
that.
something like that. And then she and Carla also have a show called a podcast called The Board Game Specialists.
Yep.
And it's her and Carla that run that.
And
And
they said on which they do a bunch of top 9s.
why top 9s?
Because I think
'Cause
that's
everybody's
great.
doing
Yeah,
top
Everybody
10s.
does top
I
10.
get
Some
ya.
people sneak in an 11 or 12. So they do a bunch of top 9s.
Yeah.
So
See, Jesse agrees. No pictures with Santa without her. And
But a video
does
is different.
Video is different.
Okay.
See, that's different.
next time you send him up here or send him somewhere with me, send me a list so I can keep him on track
Keep me on track.
of the stipulations.
That's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons I wanted you to come up here, because I don't like going to conventions by myself. Because I want some accountability. So absolutely.
Breakfast is good this morning.
Brett. Oh my goodness, that was a highlight, wasn't it?
Yep. They had all kinds of little fancy, like I had a sweet potato cake with stuff on top and all these little fancy things. You got to buffet together. It was really good.
I had some really creamy. He called it runny, but it's not.
Runny eggs.
Creamy eggs. They were so creamy. I loved it. And every time I try to do creamy eggs at home, I mess it up. So I loved it. Had some banana French bread.
French toast.
Toast. Super good.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Many more carbs than I should have eaten, but hashtag worth it. It was
I had
very
an
good.
English muffin with like barbecue pork on top, and then the barbecue sauce was very like light and smooth.
Yep.
And then with the egg on top of that, that was really good. So
Yep.
some interesting stuff. I'll
And
tell
then
you,
breakfast lasagna.
breakfast lasagna. Don't ask.
No.
Slices of crepe and what else
Yep.
you have in there?
Crepe, cheese, ham, crepe, cheese, ham with a little bit of a kind of like a sweet tomato dollop on the top of it,
Yeah.
so that it can be lasagna.
Yeah.
You know,
Looks
so good.
Couldn't eat it
And
all.
look, we're talking about like these are like little
little portions.
portions of things. We're not
Those
we
cool
didn't
little
like
things.
gorge ourselves, but it was so good.
I'll tell you about Calgary. I'm surprised. Calgary is a very clean city, or at least all the portions we've walked
Yeah.
through and everything. It's very clean.
Yeah,
A lot of new buildings.
Yeah.
It's quite pretty.
yeah. Calgary is a.
It's pretty flat now. I'm
Well,
not a
there's
huge
that.
fan of flat, but
Yep.
there's supposed to be mountains out there somewhere. That's what I was told. But
Yeah, you can see them on the horizon. They're pretty far away though.
they're not big.
Yep. They're not like they are back home. That's
Yep.
for sure.
But the city's pretty.
The
It's
city is
very
pretty.
clean.
It's a great little city to come to.
Little.
There's
1.5 million people. Little.
Well, I mean, it's not little, but it's a
Yeah, it
nice
is.
place to visit.
Right.
The top 5 for me was also a highlight. I really enjoyed the Blood Rage tournament, and not just because it's my favorite game. I enjoy watching people play that game and having fun with it. And even in the see, here's the thing: I usually avoid tournaments like the plague.
Yeah.
'Cause I just don't like what it brings out in people more often than not. But the Blood Rage tournament was completely different than that. There were just 8 of us, and we played 2 4-player games, and then the top 2 played in the championship game, and it was just a blast.
Yeah, it would have been different if it had been 40 people.
Yes,
But,
yeah,
yeah.
when everybody's just there trying to win and not talking to each other
Yeah.
because you don't want to give anything away.
Yeah.
And but it was so much more fun. So I really had that was a highlight. And getting to meet Troy, that was a highlight. Troy, Lloyd, and Jeremy are kind of the top 3 that are here, and they've all been really gracious, very kind, and really just meeting new people.
I got to play Comic Hunters again. Comic Hunters isn't available anywhere, but I think Brazil. Somehow I need to figure out how to get to Brazil to get a copy, but that's such a fun game.
I never played that. How was it?
It's great.
What is
it's
it?
really good.
What do you do?
It's trick taking, or it's not trick taking. I'm sorry. It's card drafting
Okay.
and set collection.
Dang.
That's
right down my alley.
And there's multiple. It's really cool. So it's kind of like it kind of has that same effect or that same mechanic with what I'm thinking cartographers, where you're going to do 3 different rounds of 3 different full rounds, and in each of those rounds you're going to do 3 different kinds of card drafting, which is really cool. But in the first round, there's I think there's 4 different kinds total. So the first round you're going to do the A, B, and C card draft, and then the second round you're going to do the A, C, and D card draft, and then so you're doing different card drafts for each one. But you're drafting Marvel comic book faces basically,
Yeah.
and they have they might be Black Widow comics or Black Panther comics or whatever else, and each of them has a value 1, 2, or 3. And basically, however many you draft, then you have to pay for the ones you want to keep, and you're getting set collection, things like that, with the other ones. So
Okay.
you might have 15 value in your hand. So in the end, you're only going to be able to buy 7 value worth of cards. The other ones are what you're paying for them with.
Right.
So you're doing this cool drafting mechanism. One of them's an auction. It's really freaking cool.
That's cool.
I really want a copy.
Yeah. Well, if
Just
you
have to
find
go
one,
to Brazil to get one.
no, we can probably have it shipped.
They don't even have English rules.
Well, we can download those.
Oh yeah, I know.
I'd imagine.
I know. It's a really cool game.
I'll help you get one. That
Yeah.
sounds good.
I really want it.
All right. Well, I think we're going to get on out of here. We've been here for about 45 minutes. I see Troy's kind of waiting on us to teach us Darwin's Journey, so we're going to go over there and do that. And after that, we're going home today, and we're both looking forward to that. I think. It's not that
we got a lot of stuff to try to fit into the next
Yeah,
5
we
hours
do.
before
We
we
do.
leave. So,
But we're gonna
pretty good.
we're gonna
we're
get
gonna
on
learn
out
to
of here.
speak kind of Klingon.
Yeah, we're gonna play Kublach.
That's right. We're gonna learn Klingon, at least
Basic Klingon.
basic combat Klingon. How's
Yeah,
that? No.
it's enough Klingon to get us into a fight.
But not enough to buy eggs Benedict. I don't think. I would assume.
I don't think Worf ate eggs Benedict,
Well, who knows?
and he was probably one of the
slimy lizard Benedict. We're not going to be able to say that when we get back either. But
Nope.
Anyways.
We'll see. Well, maybe this will version into a full-fledged learning how to speak fluent Klingon.
yep.
I don't
Right
know
after
that
I
that's
learn
gonna-
how to speak fluent Italian.
or a more useful language like Spanish, maybe. I don't know.
But anyways,
All right, well, we're going to get on out of here. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being here for our streams during
Yeah.
Calgary Tabletop Game Day this weekend. It's been a great time being here, and we appreciate all of you guys that have, and gals, that have stopped by.
Yep.
And we have enjoyed playing games with everybody here. And thank you for watching our streams. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back to our normal fare next weekend. Well, not quite, because we do have Thanksgiving
We
in the
have
mix
Thanksgiving, but we are going to do Oathsworn on Friday.
there. Yeah, we're doing Oath Sworn on Friday, so go ahead and show up for that. We've got we'll have the designers in the chat as well, so that'll be a good time.
That'll be really good. Worf likes prune juice.
We're
just
looking.
so we know.
Worf likes prune juice. Oh, that's true. I didn't even know Worf liked prune juice. That
All right.
had to be from an episode.
That had to be for
Yep.
sure.
But anyway, all right, we're gonna get on out of here. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.
See you later. All right.